Yo, what is up everyone? Back here with another video. Today we're going to be going over a guide pretty much talking about where you can find a bunch of just good resources for BDSP competitive. This is pretty good regardless of whether or not you're a beginner. I just labeled it as beginner too because, obviously there is a lot of, information for newer players here. But this could also be relevant depending on whether or not you're an experienced player, because there are experienced players kind of looking how to get more involved with all the circuits and everything. So gonna be breaking that down in this video. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, drop a comment, and subscribe. Make sure to let me know what kind of videos you guys would like to see in the future. But yeah, so pretty much the idea with this video that I wanted to do was I wanted to give you guys a way to kind of have all of like the resources for information for the format and kind of where you can actually compete all in one. So pretty much I'm going to be highlighting the most important kind of places where you can kind of get this stuff done, and then work from there. So yeah, so pretty much to start, Victory Road is the first website I wanted to highlight. So Victory Road has been very involved in the VGC scene since like Victory Road's inception, which I think has been like 2018. And by far has been one of the biggest organizations in terms of supporting events in general. So Victory Road is useful for a couple of things. The site will be linked below. All the resources that I mentioned in this video will be linked below. Hi, Sierra.
Hi.
Okay. But yeah, pretty much it has a bunch of articles not only for VGC BDSP, but also for other formats like Series 11. I have a team report actually up here, funny enough. And also, results from tournaments that they hosted, with the VR GG Tour Sinnoh Open being the one that was for Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, right? So pretty much really cool resource in terms of getting access to information. But yeah, so now going into the actual website. So there are a couple things. As I mentioned, there are team reports here that are available usually for their official tournaments. They do carry information about official Play Pokemon stuff, but that's not too relevant yet because we don't have IRL events. But the resources section is what's the best part. So basically, they have a whole sample team section. I actually covered this whole sample team section in my last video, where you guys can see my opinions on all the teams that were listed here. But pretty much it's a huge resource with a bunch of pastes for people to use and respective links if it's like from a video or something else, right? So ton of good information there. Really helpful overall, honestly, for people being able to get access to a bunch of teams. So definitely a cool resource. This will be linked in the description. Also to I'll have there's a video out on this already that was actually put out yesterday, so I'd make sure to check that out as well, if you guys are interested in kind of seeing my opinions on these teams and everything. But yeah, so next thing I want to show you guys, this is actually a Twitter account. So this Twitter account is pretty much focused around all of the BDSP centered events. So it basically creates a showdown ladder from BDSP tournaments. So basically it tracks all of players' wins and like their placements, and basically inputs it into a system that functions like Showdown, to where basically you get to track like kind of where you are on the leaderboards, right? It'll tell you the amount of games you've played, your rating, your placements, right? So like what you've won. So like for Pato, who's in first, second, first, top four, right? And then for me over here, you'll see it's top four, second, right? And then Torviv first, second, top eight, right? So pretty much you're able to see all of these really useful stats, like who's doing the best in the format, who's kind of like, just starting out. And you'll also be able to track your own information once you start winning. So this is all done by Ben Build. I'll make sure to, what's it called? I'll make sure to have him listed, like his Twitter listed in the description below, along with this. But basically, this is just a really helpful system to just get access to a bunch of resources, like being able to see like where everyone is in the ladder, like who's doing the best in the format. Also, it does actually retweet BDSP Battlefy tournaments, right? So you'll see that like it retweeted one of the like Wild BDSP tournaments. You'll see the Rise of Sinnoh got retweeted, like another Wild tournament, and like it's gonna be doing it more. It's actually was just like added, like this resource was just added like literally today. But it's definitely gonna be very helpful, so it'll constantly be updated. I think it's super good. But yeah, then we have our third resource that I want to talk about. This is specifically a tournament circuit besides Victory Road. This is less so like resource that like Victory Road is and tournaments. This one's just straight tournaments. This is hosted by Francesco Pardini. He's a good friend, and also too, he is an Italian player. He's also a content creator, and he runs a bunch of events basically for Pokemon tournaments, everything related to BDSP, right? So if you guys don't know, pretty much under this account, Rise of Sinnoh Official, Rise of Galar is the @ because this was originally a circuit for Sword and Shield. It also has a link to a site with pretty much all the ways to be able to compete. One thing of note to compete in the circuits for this, it is a pretty much you win, you get invited to the invitational idea. And I think you enter by subscribing to Francesco's channel, right? So pretty much it's you get entry into the tournament. If you have Prime, like it's basically free entry, you know, because obviously you're already paying for Prime. If not, then, you know, it's a $5 Twitch sub to actually be admitted into it and be able to sign up, right? And he uses like Twitch Versus along with Battlefy to actually set it up. It's all in Italian, but you can just Google translate it if like you're having trouble with it, right? And also to, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, with the signups, everything. And then you'll see that like in terms of what's it called, the pricing, it's not particularly that crazy. But that being said, right, like we're playing in this really to just compete and like have tournaments to play, right? But the cool thing is though, the decals are actually really sick for the Switch, in my opinion. Like this stuff is kind of cool, so it's definitely like neat, you know. But yeah. Also, the 8 players who qualified for Final Sort will receive a gift card worth 25 euros as a prize to spin on pamphlet. I have no clue what that is. But yeah, it's something, right? It's something to play. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then the next resource I wanted to show you guys is actually the Picolytics resource. This is just basically ladder usage and information. Now, one thing to note is this does get updated as pretty much the months progress. So every month it'll kind of get its update. You can basically use this to kind of track usage of Pokemon, see what's used more than others. Because it's monthly, you will probably see drastic changes from month to month with this resource. This resource is also useful because it does give you an actual way to track, you know, a Series 11 if you're interested in playing the official VGC format at the moment. But yeah, pretty much it just gives you a bunch of information on movesets, usage, kind of what's being popularized, the actual EV spreads that are being used, which is incredibly useful. Obviously, not all of them are good, so make sure you're doing the right ones. I'd say videos and like, you know, obviously explained EVs are a bit better than ones that are just coming off of Picolytics, but it does give you a base if you need it, right? So you kind of get a lot of resources here. Now, I wanted to show this resource for a couple of reasons. So there are a couple of things that you can do with it that's actually really cool. So first off, you have obviously the actual, you know, Pokédex. You can kind of see what's used, what's more popular. They have a team builder. They have basically a team builder thing that you can do. So basically you can add, what's it called? Where is it? Battle Festival doubles. I don't know if they have it for this specific format. Let's see. Battle Festival doubles. I don't see it, so I'm just gonna assume that they don't have it at the moment. But basically what you can do is you can add a Pokemon and it'll give you a suggested like filler and kind of help you build out a team, right? Obviously this resource probably could use a bit of work. I mean, I haven't used it particularly, and I personally don't use it, but it could just help you like get an actual like idea of how you want to build your team or whatever, right? Like even this, like this actually doesn't even look like a bad VGC team, funny enough. But yeah, you can kind of use it to give yourself a general idea. It'll let you EV, and it'll let you kind of add suggested items with percentages and everything. It's a super cool resource. I think it's just like nice, especially if you're starting out. It can help you a little bit. The meta report thing isn't something that has been used specifically for BDSP at the moment because you know, obviously the main format at the moment is what's it called? Series 11, right? And it's like a little mixed up, so I wouldn't particularly use this yet. The main one that I wanted to highlight that I think was the main use next to the Pokédex and potentially the team builder was actually the damage calculator. So the damage calculator is really nice because this is something that obviously, like, even though it's not specialized for the specific format, you can kind of customize your damage calculations however you want. This specific damage calculator is primarily focused around VGC. Or like it basically is kind of how it works, right? Like a lot of the VGC community uses this, and it sets everything to level 50 automatically, so it kind of gives you a good thing to utilize there, right? Now, pretty much you can do any kind of damage calculations here with a multitude of factors, right? You can kind of do the survival EV minimizer, which is saying like I want to survive with this percentage of HP versus whatever move from this Pokemon, and it'll give you the minimal amount of EVs that you would need to do so. Right, so that's like kind of cool. It gives you like a lot of different ways to utilize the kind of damage calculation. So that's pretty much it for the actual Picolytics site. That'll be linked down below as a whole, so you can just kind of access whichever part of it you want. And then the final resource I wanted to show you guys, or less so resource, but another way to play. So this is ATX VGC, basically a smaller community organized thing. This is by the Texas scene, I believe, and they kind of work together to just bring like smaller like broadcasts every Monday. But basically, you can sign up to be on like their stream matches and play like BDSP battles. And pretty much like if you go to their Twitter and like you go to their stream and like their Discord and sign up, you can play their tournament basically, or like not their tournaments, but like you can play in like an exhibition match and they'll like show it off on stream with like production and everything. It's kind of cool if you just want to like, you know, have your match broadcasted and also just play versus other people. I know they're looking for other people to have games on there every Monday anyways, right? So it's just friendly matches, there's no stakes, and it's a great way to practice. So it's another great resource if you're just trying to get into the battling scene, just want a more casual way to play and like, you know, without that extra pressure. But I mean, that's pretty much it. In terms of any other resources, I mean, obviously make sure to check out my Twitch. When I am around, I stream tournaments pretty much. I stream the tournaments for the game. And also, too, on my Twitter, I also do make sure to do my best to retweet any resources related to BDSP VGC and any of that stuff. So make sure to check me out on Twitter as well. And in terms of, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it in terms of all the resources I wanted to cover. All this stuff will be in the description, as always. And make sure to check out coaching if you guys are interested in improving your game and working one-on-one with me. And also make sure to check out the Patreon if you guys would like to support me beyond these videos. I incredibly appreciate all the patrons on there. It actually means a lot, and it's, you know, kind of crazy to have that much support. So I really appreciate it. But once again, guys, thank you for all the support on these videos. You know, like the support on Patreon, Twitch, everything is just the reason why I'm able to keep doing this. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.